Hey everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here, and today we've got a couple of packages. Both cost right around $1,000, and I can't wait to open them up and see what's inside. I know a little bit more on the Russian coin front than I do on this one. It's more of like a mixed group, and a bunch of them were just in their flips. I didn't even see the coins when I bought them, so a little bit of a gamble here, but we're going to be telling the coin history and seeing what new inventory I've got in the next couple minutes. Let's dive into the packages. And here's everything in front of us. We've got a couple of groups of 5 kopecks. We also have some very nice looking silver coins from Russia. These are going to be Soviet Union. And then we also have some older ones that are kind of like Central Asian medieval coins from the Mongol and post-Mongol empires. And then there should be in here some French coins, but I only saw like the outside, and I actually didn't even see. This is from Boardwalk Numismatics. I think a lot of the inventory is going to be from Boardwalk, so that's awesome. They're in Connecticut and a great world coin dealer, have a great eBay store. So probably shouldn't be plugging them, but really they're super nice people. Justin, Ellery, JJ, and the whole crew there. Great folks, and I think there should be one graded coin in this package. So time to open this up. I think we'll probably start with these, and then we'll get into some of the Russian stuff. And as I mentioned, I think we're just going to go, and these should be a bunch of different metals, and I'm super excited to check them out. We'll just go, this one says $225 on it, and I paid a lot less than $225 for it. So let's see what it is. Wow, that's beautiful. Let me take a zoom here. This is an octagonal bronze, 1803 dated Napoleon Bonaparte. 12th year, 1804 dated, I should say. Octagonal Jeton Michener is going to be the reference, I think, 3787. Beautiful, beautiful type. And so I feel like we are well underway. Just to see that coin itself, you know, a lot of these probably aren't going to be quite that nice. But, this one I've not seen. This is a French marque entrée, but it has such interesting, a Fest Arranger entry token. So some kind of, entry token to an event. Does not have a date, but it looks interesting. I haven't seen it before. And buying like French collections, I think, have some of the coolest different types. I love their rich history of nice metals and jetons. This one's 1852. Such nice looking. Lille, restorations of processions. Fascinating. Glory to the Lord. This one's going to be Christian themed metal. You can see the cross up there. That's fantastic, and I'm getting a good feeling about this unboxing. This one's only a $50 one, but it's big, and it's a 1903 prize metal Galliac. Argent would mean that it's silver, and we can look on the edge, but it might also just be plated. Is that going to say? Okay, that's a huge silver medal. I mean, this thing is easily more than an ounce of silver, so in the time that the collector had it, this is going to be, and it's a prize that was going to Albert Vialard. It's so interesting also, I think, about there was such devastation in World War I in France, and so it's really sad when you see some of these medals just before then, you know, how many people passed away in that. This one is going to be the American Visit the Legion to France, 1927. Okay, so this is after World War I. See, I think this one's going to be bronze, it says clearly there. Beautiful type. Curious, I mean, it's the American theming makes it more exciting. I would doubt that this is 125, but it easily could be. I mean, there's a lot of rare metals, and I'll want a little more historical context. French history, though, it goes so far back. Our dog is named Clovis after, the first Christian French king. Here's the Farmer Society, 1905 dated, Ministry of Agriculture, and the medallic tradition. They just have the School of Beaux-Arts was in France. That's where St. Gaudens, who's such a famous American engraver, would have trained. Love this 1848 dated Henry V metal with nice reflective surfaces and a ton of symbols. I'm not sure if there's like some kind of code. I could see that. I think that it's probably some sort of code when I look at it like so. Beautiful though, and great surfaces. I'm a huge fan of that. Wow, I think this is going like gangbusters so far. I'm really pleased with this Here's an 1833 Henry V. I don't even know who Henry the Fifth or the Fourth, excuse me. It says, yeah, and Louis le Grand. Maybe he was. Was there a King Henry now that I'm not remembering in France? I know that there's King Louis Philippe. This one, did that say 200? Let's see what a $200 medal looks like. Okay, that does look really pretty. 1830, beautiful. It has the fasces, just like the Mercury dime. It looks like such a great depiction of liberty. I would love to see this on like a pattern US coin. Basically, we used to strike a bunch of potential coins before we decided what we were actually going to put. This one looks like a pewter cliche, so it's going to be uniface just on one side of it, but also a Napoleon the First, no date, but probably dating to sometime in the earlier 1800s. That one's really interesting. Love pewter metals. Let's see what this is. Ooh, this is a Josephine Raffin medal. I love the grain stalks. French metals are just so cool. I love unboxing them. Nice. Okay, I'm very pleased with this. Let's see, $100 on this one. It's going to be an 1840 dated souvenir, immortal souvenir. This is going to reference, it says, Return of Napoleon's Body to France. Ooh, I actually don't know the history of that. Bramson is the metal reference there. But I think in 1840, that would have been under Louis Philippe, who reigned from somewhere like 1831 to 1848 when he was overthrown. Ooh, this one looks silver. 1744 dated medalette, Royal Academy of Sciences and Arts, and I love the little toning there. Very, very fun. Oh, that toning is awesome. Yeah, 1744 dated. It reminds me similar to like a jeton, and I think that there are a couple of jetons in that group, though I haven't seen them too closely. This one is going to be 1882 French metal, but I mean, man, the designs are just so good on the. I wish that we had easily accessible metals in the same way that the French had. It's just so fun to see. Here we have a Vitellius, a bronze medal, circa 1780. Okay, interesting. Began to reign. Yep, 69 to 70. I would have dated him just in 69, and then it's going to be Vespasian who goes in, and notably there's Nero is a very famous emperor, big persecutor of Christians. Then there's like 4 back-to-back emperors and rulers. Ooh, this is really, really light. Feels like aluminum or some similar metal. 39 millimeter, Napoleon, also Napoleon metal though, and it's a souvenir of the 34th anniversary, 1910. Okay, so it is a little later. I would peg that one as a little less valuable. Totally fine, but I want to shoot straight with you so you guys know how I'm looking at these items. This one looks silver, and it's got some fun toning on it. Bar metal, French Republic. That's going to be the Minister of Finances and Manufacturers of the state. Should be silver. Let's check the sides, though. That's really the best way to tell if there's no... I think that says... Yep, and I'm looking at it off... It says argent, and it has the poinçon, the horn, so it could have been struck in like the late 1800s would be my best guess there. Ooh, 250 is the value on this one. Let's see what we pull. Ooh, nice. It looks like a 1783 silver Netherlands. Ooh, that's really cool. I love it. Dutch gens are a little tougher to come by than the French, and I love the blue hues and toning. That's a great coin. Very pleased on that front. Oh, this one is super high relief. 1817 Jean-Auguste de Thou. I just like anytime a surface looks really nice like that, I'm a big fan of it. That's fantastic. And then here, 1852 France, a glory medal, 1852 to the Lord. Rétablissement des processions à Lille. Man, that's a good looking coin. And even there, I love, take a look, you can see some faint like toning in reds and greens on the copper surface. I think we saw a similar one earlier, but that is, I love how that ends up working out there. And then here it's an 1860 Olivier de Serres. Almost feels like it could have been, yeah, Agricultural Society medal. They could have engraved it, but they didn't issue this one. Beautiful, though. Take a look at the different, agricultural design, but the different, like, bull and cow heads. on either side of it with a, I guess, plow on the bottom. Man, you probably are tired of hearing me say how much the French do well with their medals. And then an early 1829 dated or no date medal by Cac, the son of Robert Lefort the Strong. The paternal, I don't know what Biseuil means, but paternal de Hugues Capet. Okay, anyways, interesting, reminds me of a Jetton, but I guess it's a little more modern. And then last but not least in this medal group, we're going to see a French Henry the Fourth and Louis the 18th. Okay, but wouldn't Henry the Fourth have been like a 1610 restoration of equestrian statue? So that's what maybe I'm not getting. Or maybe Henry IV ruled briefly. I'm thinking Henry IV was like way, way earlier on in France. And that's what they could be referencing. And then let's next up go to the other French stuff. I guess a lot of this could be from Boardwalk, but a Castapin de Nantes. So this is going to be, in fact, some fun Jettons and medals. Very pretty. A little silver token. 125, so potential high value. Ooh, octagonal Jetton. Really nice. Louis-Philippe Bayonne Chamber of Commerce Jetton, no date, but probably going to date this one to somewhere in the mid to late 1800s would be my best guess there. We've got behind it, it's fun to just pull out and see what we get. Okay, another octagonal is fantastic. Louis the 18th, King of France and Navarre, the Spanish province that they eventually cede. Then the next one after that is going to be, Bordeaux, founded in 1819. What is, Castapin, I guess, is going to be a savings bank. And I love the little bank, nice architecture. I like and there's a couple of cleaning hairlines on there, but I like the octagonal look. This one feels, I was going to say not octagonal, but it is Louis Philippe as well. So that's great. Man, this has been going quite well. I'm very pleased. We getting a lot of great types here. A notaire, that's like legal. And that one has some like very interesting, I think it was cleaned but then retoned. Solid like legal Jetton, but also a bunch of interesting deep blue toning. So that's pretty cool from my perspective. And then let's see, here we have L'Immortalité. So Louis the 15th. We don't have a date on it. He would have reigned for about 15 to 1774. Protector of the French Academy to immortality. Very nice. And then here, very cool. Have not seen this type before. 1806. It's a jeton of Tours. Wow, that is cool. Dulce 1806 Utile. Tours Agricultural Society medal. And you can see what looks like almost like a lyre. That sun reminds me of some of like the South American coinage. 1816 right here. Nice, beautiful. It reminds me a lot of U.S. pattern coins. A nice bar. And suffrage universal. Suffrage universel. 1836 dated Society of Arts and Sciences of Carcassonne. Was there a battle of Carcassonne, or am I just making that up? I think I'm making it up. This one is a nice Nantes Chamber of Commerce medal, 32 millimeters. Very, very nice. Silver has been cleaned a little bit, which is okay. And I think it's going to be like somewhere in the 1800s, though it always looks a little more modern to me, that type. I've gotten it before. And last but not least here, we've got a nice public commerce Jetton. That's going to be public commerce and industry. So very, very solid. A nice mix of metals there. And let's see here. Okay, so that's a great start. The next focus is going to be Russian. I may pause to get some of these coins off screen, and we will pick right up where we left off. All right, and so we've got the other coins off to the side. I forgot. I thought this was going to be an ancient graded coin, but it is actually a nice 8 reals, and I think we can see the VR mint mark right there. So that's going to indicate that it was struck between 84 and 97. Bolivia is under the Spanish Empire at that point. We can see the cross on the back. So unfortunately, saltwater damage. This was shipwrecked somewhere, and so we've got a pretty cool looking coin. But the thing is, we can tell that it was dated to when it is because its VR is going to be when the engraver Pedro de VR switched from using V to VR. So I had looked that up for this. It wasn't anything I knew off the top of my head. Then over here, so these are some of like the Russian, I guess they're kind of like Volga River area. Dengas, they would have been struck in the Western Mongol Empire. And so they're pretty cool. They have the different inscriptions, I think, would reference, the Khan or whoever was the ruler at the time. And they're very pretty. I think that they're pretty charming. And it's neat to see kind of much northern Mongols. It reminds me of some of like the Central Asian coins. But again, it has their little kind of northern Mongol flair. Then over here, we've got the Catherine the Great. I'm wondering if there's any Elizabeth Petrovna. I don't think so, because these were a little bit nicer condition. Very beautiful. They're going to be struck from about 64 to 96, I think, under Catherine the Great. And we have the dual-headed imperial eagle holding a globe, 1781. I don't know. I think that they're like little hockey pucks, and it's awesome to see some of these earlier ones, like 1765, in good condition, because oftentimes the ones that were struck earlier, they circulate for longer, and so they're a lot tougher looking. Like here's a 64. That's actually cool, though. It looks like there was some kind of like defect in the planchet, and so the little strip peeled away like a lamination, but on such a large planchet coin, it makes for a very interesting effect. So, I don't want to bore you. I'm kind of trying to look here to see if we have any of the Elizabeth Petrovna types, but some of these, man, are really sharp. 1784, that one, especially on that right side, and with large flans like this, you can really see how, that one is magnificent. There's a wide potential for there to be kind of problems or errors in the strike. And also like uneven strikes or like differences within the same planchet. But these are all really pretty, and I'm quite pleased with them. So 1770, a little bit earlier. 79, that's sharp. I love it. It doesn't look like we got any 76s when we get the Revolutionary War, or the, plenty of these are Revolutionary War, or Independence Declaration. But I think these are going to be some of the 20 kopecks. So some of these are actually not Soviet Union, but I think these are like the RSFR. So you can actually see it's not CCCP. Let me try to find one that is going to be, here's the Soviet Union, and then here we still have the hammer and sickle, but it's a little bit different looking. I think it's like the Russian Socialist Republic or something like that. But yeah, both have the hammer and sickle, and yeah, I don't know. They're cool. They do no longer have silver in them. These are 50% silver, by the 1930s, and so very much like state arms look on the coin. We have the ear, focusing on production, that kind of thing, and so it's so interesting. All these coins, and especially with the French as well, just commemorate so much of our interesting world history. I love sharing it. A lot of these are going to end up going for resale. Really fun to see Justin and Boardwalk's coins, and just get a better sense for history of them. I wanna learn more about the Mexican, these types of Mexican, Bolivian, these are Potosi mint, but there's so many different, like Peruvian, all these different Spanish colonial places, basically. Great history, and I also love when I get some good shipwreck ones. I know I'd shown some from not too long ago where we actually did have the shipwreck NGC certification, and I'm going to try to pick up some more. So anyways, really fun to think about. Love unboxing with you all, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching the video. Make sure to head on over to treasuretown.com and sign up for our email list to stay up to date on everything that's happening, whether it's auction updates, exciting new inventory drops, coin collecting news, or general informational resources. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on another one.